Come on in, guys. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about Survivor spoilers. Survivor seasons throughout the years have been spoiled to varying degrees, from complete bootless to literally not at all. And spoilers can come from anywhere. Contestants on the show, crew members, locals in the filming location. Spoilers can even come accidentally, from editors using clips from future challenges, or webmasters uploading the wrong photos to the website. But today, I don't want to talk about actual spoilers that were legit. Today, we're talking about the best, most outlandish fake spoilers in Survivor history, including one from Winners at War. Believe me, there have been some doozies. My only caveat for a spoiler to make this list is that it must have been believed by at least a small part of the spoiler community. Or in the case of one, at least turned into a meme. Each of these fake spoilers is super unique, and a few are downright famous, or at least as famous as a spoiler for a 20-year-old game show can get. That said, let's break down the top 5 fake spoilers in Survivor history. At number 5, we have a spoiler all the way from Season 2, Survivor: The Australian Outback. Survivor Australia, as I'm sure you know, is one of the most famous seasons of Survivor ever. After Survivor Mania swept the nation in the summer of 2000, everyone wanted to know exactly what was going to happen on the next season, which escalated the stakes in just about every way. And news outlets were battling each other to get exclusive information about the most anticipated piece of media since The Phantom Menace. One of the most believed spoilers around that time was that a contestant would fall off a horse and break their collarbone and be the first person medically evacuated from the game. The LA Times and the New York Post both reported on this spoiler, the latter of which claimed the victim was a 63-year-old man. Well, no 63-year-old men were on that season, but there was 53-year-old Roger Bingham, so people just assumed that's what they meant and rolled with it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to make a trip over the hill to the latrine.
Roger, of course, did not fall off a horse, but Mike Skupin did fall in a fire and get medically evacuated, so I guess the spoiler was like 1% correct. The fourth best fake spoiler comes courtesy of Survivor Cambodia. Cambodia was mostly spoiled after a user posted a boot list online early on in the season. Each week, it became clearer and clearer that the boot list was very accurate. So when episode 8 came along, everyone just expected Stephen Fishback to become the second member of the jury, per the boot list. Even watching the episode, it was clear. The whole episode was swelling towards an obvious Fishback elimination, with the one-sided Fishback and Savage feud reaching a boiling point. Only it wasn't Stephen who went home that night. It was Andrew Savage, shockingly eliminated via Kelly Wentworth's immunity idol. This moment was a jaw-dropper even without the spoilers, and has rightly become one of the defining moments of Survivor in the 30s. Imagine having an accurate boot list betray you on the most shocking elimination in years. Who knows if the user who spoiled the boot list just made an honest mistake, or if they intentionally swapped Steven and Savage's placement to shock people. Either way, beanies off to you. The third greatest fake spoiler comes straight to us from Survivor Winners at War. Now, this doesn't spoil any contestant placements, and I suppose there is always the off chance this spoiler could turn out to actually be true, but I'm pretty confident putting it down here as a hilarious fake spoiler. But if you don't want to hear anything about Season 40 at all, skip ahead to here. Pretty much the second it was announced that Season 40 would be Survivor's first all-winners season, fake spoilers flooded the Survivor sphere like it was Rupert Shelter and All-Stars.
Digging into the sand is the dumbest idea I've ever had in my life.
One of those fake spoilers comes to us courtesy of the Survivor Spoilers subreddit, where a user claimed to have overheard a group of Season 40 contestants loudly chatting about the game at an Australian restaurant. One topic of conversation? Per the user, Michelle Fitzgerald, winner of Survivor Co Wrong, came out as bisexual on the island during Winners at War. While the spoiler is obviously fake, hashtag BiShell memes began spreading through the Survivor world instantly. But I guess, there's a small percent chance this could turn out to be legit. Let's ask the source. What do you think, Michelle?
It sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me, but whatever.
The second greatest spoiler in Survivor history comes from the show itself. During the airing of Survivor Borneo, as contestants were eliminated, their profile picture on the website would change to have a red X next to their face. kind of like this. Gotta love that 2000s web design. However, some internet sleuths discovered that the red X images all already existed on the server, and you could easily view the images even for players who hadn't yet been eliminated. Everyone had one of these little red X pictures, except Jervis. Now, while I don't believe it's ever been confirmed, I am almost certain this was intentional chicanery on CBS's part, meant to throw off internet sleuths after the show became a runaway hit. This is probably the most famous fake spoiler in Survivor history, and I admire the creative ingenuity behind it. Good on ya, CBS webmaster. The greatest fake spoiler in Survivor history comes to us courtesy of Survivor Redemption Island. A power spoiler on a Survivor message board had successfully spoiled Survivor Samoa, Heroes vs. Villains, and Nicaragua, so when the first spoilers came out for Survivor Redemption Island, many understandably took them as gospel. Only the problem is, these spoilers were straight up wacky. Buckle in. Per the spoilers, Boston Rob's Ometepe tribe included a few familiar celebrity faces. Carrie Prejean, a Miss USA runner-up who had recently been the source of controversy for saying she believes marriage should only be between a man and a woman, and Kimbo Slice, a professional boxer and MMA fighter. The spoilers said that Boston Rob was on the outs at the first tribal council and received a majority of the votes. However, the spoiler stated that Carrie Prejean played an immunity idol for Boston Rob, saving him and sending home Kimbo Slice instead, who was apparently leading the charge on voting out Boston Rob. Now, you might be thinking, how did anyone believe this? But I think what's so believable about this inherently ridiculous spoiler is that it captures so much of what Survivor fans were complaining about at the time. Celebrities appearing on the show was a point of contention following Jimmy Johnson's brief appearance on Nicaragua. Even back then, people were annoyed about the prevalence of immunity idols. People didn't like the show essentially canonizing Boston Rob as Survivor royalty after Heroes vs. Villains. Man, some things never change. And when you say it all out loud, it just sounds so patently ridiculous. Miss USA runner-up Carrie Prejean idols out Kimbo Slice to save Boston Rob on episode 1. But it's just fake enough to be real, you know? Simply put, greatest fake spoiler ever.
Thanks for the memories.
Got nothing else for you. If you want to spoil me with likes and subscriptions, like and subscribe and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.